Now we're going to be talking about an element that is unique to this instrument, the pedals.
Mickey, pedal harder!
So if we look at an acoustic piano, we have 3 pedals in a row. The one on the left is our una corda pedal, the one in the middle is the sostenuto pedal, and the one on the far right is our sustain pedal. Now all 3 are very important to how we produce sound and manipulate sound on the instrument. However, the one that is most important for beginner students is the one on the far right, the sustain pedal. One small thing to note is that if you have an electric piano,
it's totally fine.
That's totally fine. You just need to get a sustain pedal attachment. They sell them on Amazon, your local music store, Guitar Center definitely has one. They're really cheap, from $5 to pretty expensive to maybe like 30, 40. But you need it, and you need to pay attention to this video even though it's using an acoustic piano, and that's because the digital pedal is mimicking the physical action of the acoustic instrument. So the way you use the pedal between acoustic and electric piano is the same. Before we start to use the pedal in our playing, we have to understand what it's doing in the instrument so that it's easier to conceptualize how to use it. So let's take a look inside the keyboard to see what's happening. So every time we strike a key, there is a damper pad attached to the string that needs to resonate, or that needs to ring out, to make the sound. When we let go of the key, the damper pad goes back into place and the ringing of the note stops. Now here's where the pedal comes in. Notice when I put my foot down on the pedal, all the damper pads on the keyboard are lifted off the strings. So all the notes I play are going to be held basically indefinitely, or until the strings stop vibrating. Now, how does this relate to our playing? Quite simply, the pedal helps us connect notes that we wouldn't otherwise be able to with just the aid of hand position and opening and closing of shape. So,
Why does it matter? No, it just explains a lot.
why does this matter? Take a listen to this excerpt of the same piece of music, the first time with pedal, and now this time without pedal. The difference is very clear. We need it to smooth out the sound and give layers to the sound that we're making. Now to our first pedaling exercise. It's the exact same thing as our C chords in root position. So if you do not remember what this is, go back to the video labeled playing chords and give yourself a refresher. First, I want you to listen to the exercise without the pedal. Listen to the clear gaps in the sound between the chords as I play. This is very important because when you're pedaling and learning how to pedal, you're going to have to be self-correcting and really listening to the difference in sound that you're making. Now listen to the exercise again with smooth, connected pedaling. It sounds like all the chords are connected, but we all know they're definitely not. I'm fully lifting my hand and placing it back down on the keyboard. It's the timing of the pedal that makes them sound connected. first, before we start using the pedal, we have to have a good foot position. Your foot must be in front of your knee to pedal easily. When the knee is in front of the foot, it uses this tiny muscle in your shin called your anterior tibialis. It's super weak. It's really hard to pedal like that. And as a result, you're gonna pick up your entire leg to pedal instead of using that tiny little muscle in your shin. Now, that's excessive motion, it makes a big loud sound on the keyboard, and we just want to avoid that entirely. We want to pedal with our heel on the ground. So to make that easier, we slide our foot in front of our knee. And by doing so, lifting our foot is controlled by our calf muscles, which are way bigger and way stronger and can easily handle the task of lifting your foot up and down on the pedal. Now, the most important part, which is like the execution of the pedaling. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna think about finding the sweet spot of the pedaling. If I lift my pedal too soon, the sound is disconnected. If I lift my pedal too late, the sound is mushy. There's a clear overlap in sound when I lift it too late. Now, to get that sweet spot right in the middle, we have to think about our seesaw. So, as my chord is coming down, that's when my pedal comes up, because remember what's happening inside the keyboard. When I hit the pedal, the dampers come off. So, when I hit a note as well, the dampers come off. I hit the chord, the sound clears, and the pedal comes right back down. So that's where the seesaw comes. The hand goes into the chord, and as it's making contact with those notes, the foot comes off the pedal and comes right back to catch the new sound. This is a very experiential thing. You really have to listen for the clear connected sound, and good pedaling is something that we just work at as pianists basically our whole lives. One last tiny little note about this exercise. Don't do it fast. It's not meant to be for acquiring speed or like chord movement precision. It's just about pedaling. So again, you do it without a metronome for a while, but once you get used to it, start incorporating your pedaling more in your music. This is one of the things that's best done in actual application or practice. The exercise of pedaling is going to kind of get your foot in the door, and then once you get a handle on this, just start using it in your music. A lot of music does have pedaling notation written in it, but like the vast majority of classical music will just say what's called cone ped with pedal, and it's up to the musician's ear to figure out where they want to clear the sound and where they want it to overlap. So, a quick recap of our pedaling.
Recap would be good, you know, just kind of brush up and everything.
Firstly, make sure your foot is in front, not behind, in front of your knee when you pedal. When you're doing the exercise, find the sweet spot. Think about the seesaw relationship between your foot and your hand, and take your time. Don't go super fast with this one. And lastly, once you get it, start putting it into your music as soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
Alright guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the pedaling video. Comment, like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Let me know what you liked, let me know what you didn't. And looking forward to hearing from you guys. Stay powerful, y'all.